My fears are real. I'm not sure if what they're saying is going to be right. And if they are wrong with some of the things that they are saying, what's going to happen then? What's going to happen then? Will I be able to sell my house? Who's going to want to move into the neighborhood? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Doug Crane, followed by John McCowan. And as always, we welcome representation from the Ukiah City Council.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I want to review a couple of acronyms. NIMBY, not in my backyard. Banana, build absolutely nothing anywhere near anything. And NOPE, not on planet Earth. I hadn't heard the last one recently. Please consider the following community benefits of the proposed enhancement of an existing facility. Local value-added jobs that replace some of the hundreds of such jobs lost in recent years as we collapse our industry. Tax base increase resulting from substantial capital investment in the MRF. Reduction of truck traffic for existing recycling due to more efficient loads of finished goods. Reduced carbon footprint via more efficient transport of recycled materials. Reduction of cost growth for local ratepayers by local value added to recyclables to be reflected in rates over time. I find these benefits to be consistent with the goals of our community. Additionally, the parcel is accessed from North State Street, once a heavily traveled state highway, much less traffic now than when it's served as a state highway. The parcel is separated from non-industrial uses by the freeway and county roads. The parcel is adjacent to other industrial uses. The added operations are primarily indoors and are of light industrial use in nature. Those are the points I wish to make. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Crane. Mr. McCowan, this is the last speaker card that I have. Anyone wishing to speak in addition, please fill out a card and bring it forward.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the board. John McCowan speaking as an individual. I think that you've heard many concerns expressed, but there are fears that people have of what might happen. They're not factual statements of what will happen. I think your best guide there is the staff report. I think this is a project that's been a year in the approval process. And I think that there's been many mitigations added to it that will address the legitimate concerns of the neighbors. I sat on the County Planning Commission when we approved the temporary asphalt plant. And we realized that that was an imposition to the neighborhood. It was also a temporary use. When a proposal for the permanent asphalt plant came forward, I was opposed to that. But we should all realize this is an industrial site. It has the appropriate zoning. And there are many mitigations. There will be no nighttime operations in contrast to the asphalt plant. The machinery will be enclosed indoors in contrast to when the temporary asphalt plant was there. There will be far less truck traffic. Trucks were coming and going more every hour than what this will allow at the most per hour, I believe. There will also be no self-haulers. There will be no refuse on site overnight. I heard this referred to as a garbage transfer site, and I think initially a lot of people got confused about what this really was. This is really the material that goes in the blue bin. It's mixed recyclables. I concur with all of the benefits that Doug Crane cited for this. I think that this is an appropriate location. I heard some things also by the gentleman making the official presentation against this that simply aren't true. He said that this is surrounded on all sides by residential uses. And in fact, the zoning and the use to both the east and the south is industrial. You get a little beyond that, yes, there is residential. I also heard someone say there's no sidewalk anywhere near here except Pomo Lane. There's a new sidewalk directly in front of the property that borders North State Street. So, and a lot of the complaints that are made are about normal, everyday operations that would take place at any industrial site. I think if the neighbors give this a fair look, it's really a fairly benign project. They could have a lot worse with the same zoning. This is well mitigated. Please approve.
Thank you, Mr. McCowan. Any additional members of the public wishing to speak to this item, please step forward. Okay. There is one. Please step forward, state your name for the record, try and keep it to 3 minutes.
It's Chuck Vaugh. You know, shame on Mr. Crane and Mr. McGowan. Obviously, they're speaking on behalf of the city of Ukiah, and it's yeah, not in my backyard, like Mr. McGowan said. Yeah, because they're moving it out of Ukiah into a rural residential area. That's very disappointing. I think these are all valid concerns everybody has. I think probably if there's any investigation done at all, they will find that virtually no one was noticed on this. I know lots of people that had no idea about this. I'm personal friends with the engineering company. They've never said a word to me about it. It's very disappointing. Very disappointing. I think that